Hello everyone, let's get started with exercise 3.4L. In this exercise, we will be introducing the while as opposed to the do while loop. So to help me explain the while versus do while difference, let us go back to our UiPath and go back to exercise 3.3L, which was where we left off. If you remember, we set up a condition such that if count were less than 5, the loop would continue. But the moment that count reaches 5, it would stop. The key highlight about a do-while loop is that it does the action before running the check. This means that earlier we assigned the value of 0 to the variable count. This means that if we change this to 10, can you guess if the loop will run once? The answer is that yes, it will run at least once. Let's take a look by playing the file. As you can see, it works on the first row, keying in everything, and even clicking on submit another response before it realizes that, hey, count is more than 5, or rather count is 5 or more. Therefore, I should stop. The only difference if you convert this to a while loop would be that the while loop will immediately check the value of count, meaning that if count were already 5 or more, it would not even run the first time. So let's take a look at how we can do that. Let's change this back to 0 and create a new flowchart by using save as and naming it exercise 3.4L. Now, because we immediately do a check once we enter the loop, instead of doing the copy only within the do while loop, we now need to actually do the copy within go to cell A2. So let's do that. And we want to copy selected text. Now what we need to do is we need to assign the value that is copied into the variable item. But what we realize is that, hey, they are throwing us an error, which is this exclamation mark. And what is the error saying? The error is saying is that this variable item does not exist. But how can it be the case? Because we have created it and used it previously. So the reason is very simple. If you go back to your do while loop, you will realize that, and you click on the form field sequence, you will realize that the value item has a scope of form field, meaning that it only exists within form field. It is not available in any of the earlier hierarchies that we saw, meaning exercise 3.1 and so on. So variables that are declared within a scope of form field will only be available within this particular sequence, as well as any child sequence that you create within form field. So therefore, what we need to do is we need to expand the scope of form field so that it is also available in exercise 3.1. Since go to A2 is a sequence within exercise 3.1L, it will also be available. As you can tell, the exclamation mark has gone away. Next, we want to cut out the form field. So right click on the form field and click copy, go back out and click paste. You will see that your form field appears now inside your exercise 3.1. I'm going to delete away my do while loop, connect back my form field, or rather, sorry, I need a while loop. So bring in my while loop, cut my form field, go into my while loop, delete away the body, and I can paste my form field within again. So now the condition needs to be reinstated. So count less than 5. So that is the only difference. And once we connect your assign to the while loop, we can run it. So that shows us that this sequence or this script works. To show you what I described earlier, so now let's say I change count to 10 and I try to run it again. Let's see what happens. It goes to A2 and it stops immediately because once it goes into the while loop, it realized that, hey, count is already more than or equal to 5. Therefore, I should stop the loop. So that brings us to the end of exercise 3.4L. See you at the next lesson. Thank you.